I'm bored. Oh, really? Let's hang out and talk about that. So you're feeling bored. You're feeling discontent, right? I know what that's like. I feel bored pretty frequently. I feel discontent pretty frequently. That's basically what boredom is. It's a negative sensation. Nobody's like, "Ah, I'm bored. I'm bored." Nobody's like that. Nobody enjoys being bored. Nobody's like, "Ah, I'm bored. I'm bored." It doesn't work that way. People are usually like this, like, "I'm bored," or like, or usually they're like this, "I'm bored." Sometimes it's more like that. But however it is, it doesn't matter. It tends to be a negative thing when you're feeling bored. So what I have to say about this is that congratulations, you're normal. You're discontent. That means you're a human being. That means things are working properly for you. It's okay to be bored. It doesn't mean that you're becoming depressed. It doesn't mean that you're sick. It doesn't mean that your life is worthless. It doesn't mean that you are worthless. It's okay to be bored. It means you're going to have a lot more fun when you do finally have fun. Now, sometimes some of us have other issues that have happened in our lives, or maybe some of us have endured some pain, or maybe some of us have unhealthy tendencies. And boredom can lead to unhealthy, bad decisions that lead to a bad future, which will lead to a bad right now. So, if that's the case for you, then something that would be really important for you to do is to reach out to someone that understands what you've been through, to reach out to someone that will actually listen, will actually not judge you with that thing that you're dealing with, that whatever happened in your past, that boredom can lead to you doing something that happened in your past, whether it's addiction or some kind of tendency that is just not good for you. Whatever it is, what you probably have to do is reach out to somebody, because boredom can lead to bad things for some people. And that's all I was saying about that. And for people that aren't going to go on a killing spree, or people that are not going to go on some kind of drug spree, all you have to do is make a simple change. All you have to do is create momentum. All you have to do is take one step and do something you like, or listen to something that you like, right? You have to do something. You can't just sit there and be like, "I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored." It's not gonna work. It's not gonna do anything. You're just affirming the negative over and over, and you're just stewing in that, and that's not good for you. And life is worth living, and just because you're feeling a little bored doesn't mean that anything is wrong. It's okay. Maybe you just need to relax a little bit. Sometimes I feel bored when I'm just not able to relax. So maybe you could brew a cup of chamomile tea. If you never tried it before, research teas. If you're feeling bored, research what teas might give you the kind of relaxation that you want. There's chamomile, and there's damiana, and skullcap, and there's a lot of other relaxing herbs, and they're interesting to read about. And there's just tons of interesting things to read on the internet. And if you haven't already realized that, then it's pretty obvious. I mean, you have the internet. If you're watching me, then it might not be too hard for you to click away and to start researching something that is inspiring to you, that is interesting to you. So what is interesting to you? Are you interested in ancient civilizations? Are you interested in science, chemistry? Are you interested in the planets? Are you interested in the stars? Are you interested in the earth and volcanoes, the ocean, fish, sharks, whales, mythology, mermaids, religion, stories, fiction, nonfiction, philosophy? Um, there's a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff to check out. It's cool. It's not so bad. Just because you're bored, it's just a little gap with the inspiration rainbow that's usually always flowing. Maybe that's not the case for you, and that's okay. All that matters is that you're just one step away from a different kind of motion right now, because this boredom motion is not good. It's a downward motion, and you can create that upward motion, or that steady, organized motion that you would prefer over the boredom motion that you're probably experiencing. So just look into something. Just read something. You know, one thing that I did one day when I was really bored is like I just decided, okay, got the internet. So I hopped on YouTube and I just looked up like scary stories. Um, and for some people, it's not the healthiest thing to listen to scary stories, but I find it entertaining, and I haven't watched horror movies in a long time because the imagery is just unhealthy, and I'm aware that when you're watching people get killed and blood and demons and possession and disturbing imagery and just bad, shadowy, negative, scary, horrific, bad trip things, it goes into your heart, and it's not good for you. You're seeing something that is from a sick intention. You're not seeing something that's from a loving intention, and it goes into you. Whatever you're looking at with your eyes, it's going into your heart. So you got to be careful with what you pay attention to. Um, yeah, we're talking about boredom. So one of the things I did though was check out scary stories on YouTube just being read. It's like a calm voice, and it's a guy, and he'll read like 3 to 5 little like campfire stories. That's another word that the videos can be labeled at. They're pretty cool, and there's a good amount of them, like hiking scary stories and camping scary stories and things along those lines. And I found that really nice when I was really bored and just kind of like this, like, I feel scrambled, I feel bored, I don't feel happy, something doesn't feel right. And then I decided like, hey, how about I just do something? How about I make a change? And I looked up like these little scary stories, and you know what? I think I'll post a link to these videos. I think I'll either post a link or leave the title so you can find them yourself because they're pretty cool. Stories about, like I said, camping, um, things like that. And what was the other one? So cool, entertaining scary stories is one thing you can do when you're bored, and that totally relaxed me and got my mind off of whatever negative thing was just making me feel so bored and discontent at the moment. Scary stories were good, but they don't have to be scary stories. And you know what another thing is? Maybe if you're creative, you can write a little story. Maybe you can write like a little symbolic story, or write about a person who was bored, and then like write about their daydream where they go off into this world where they're riding horses and fighting dragons with lasers and kittens and rainbows and fun things like that. um, you can do whatever you want. You're free. There's so many things you can do, and it's cool. And I promise you, there is something you can do right now. There's no way that there's nothing you can do to entertain yourself or to put yourself in some kind of content mindset. There's always something you can do. So don't worry, and don't allow yourself to feel like you're suffering in this boredom. Just make a change. Just do something. Look into something, research something, listen to a story, or read a book. Maybe try praying. If you're an atheist, pray to the universe. Do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You don't have to suffer from boredom. Boredom doesn't have to be suffering. It can be relaxation. It can be a time of creativity. It's an opportunity. You know, when you begin to start getting in the habit of choosing something to do whenever you feel bored, your bored moment will turn into a gateway to doing whatever you want. It'll turn into a gateway of freedom instead of a gateway of boredom. So it's just something totally different. It's just a blank space where it's like, okay, I can do whatever I want right now. And maybe you can practice your meditation or your affirmations Or like go smile in the mirror and do affirmations that way, or just do some writing, or grocery list, or maybe you could do something productive, or just make a healthy meal. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, and you're free. And life is good, and it's all good. I wish you peace and love. I wish you peace and love in your life. I wish you peace and love in your mind. And I wish that you make progress in your journey. And I wish that you find that clarity, and I wish that you find that strength. And I hope that you gain some kind of insight from this. I hope you got something good from this. I thank you for being with me. Have a good night.